What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Around the Blockchain here on BitBoy Crypto. Oh, man, that music makes you feel good. It's Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021. Coming to you live, 5:01 p.m., as we do every Monday through Friday. We've got a great show for you today. I'm Ruthless Jay, or you can call me Justin. We've got a great group of dudes here ready to talk some crypto. Before we get into any of this, make sure that you go down to the description, follow their stuff, subscribe, watch every one of their videos, report back to me with a summary of their activity, or just like this video, whatever you want to do. But make sure that you do follow their stuff because they are putting out some quality crypto content for you to help you put a little coin in your pocket. All right, let's see. Who do we got on the show today? I'd like to see this guy rap Busta Rhymes. I think that'd be a fun battle. That's Crypto Jebb.
What's up? How you doing, Jay?
Hey, man, I'm doing well. Great to see you as always. All right, this guy's a firm believer in high-quality Halloween costumes. Don't you step out in anything other than that. It is MacNCheeasy. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Got my fellow bearded brother, all-around great guy. We've got CryptoKeeper. Battle of the Beards is right. And no, you're not having flashbacks. This is Eron. He's back again tonight, and he is looking for some redemption. And he will give us longer than a one-sentence answer, I promise you. And we do have the shut-up timer, which is a 10-second timer. So, Eron, if we can't make it 10 seconds, that will be the keep talking timer for you. All right, so we got a great show. If this is your first time watching, this is Around the Blockchain. You will see a little score in the bottom corner of the panel. If you like what they're saying and you are in the live chat, why don't you just pop a +1 in there and we'll give them some points. Whoever's got the most points at the end of the show gets to leave us with some parting words. All right, what are we going to talk about today? Topics: Solana flipping Cardano, the CME group offering Ethereum futures, and the Metamask controversy. Wow, is it custodial or is it non-custodial? We'll find out and see what this group has to say. Before we go any further, let's get into some market watch. The global crypto market cap is 2.73 trillion, which is about a 3.5% increase from yesterday. We'd like to see things going up. Overall, pretty much everything green on the day. Let's refresh just so we've got the most recent and up-to-date pricing. Bitcoin coming in at $63,118, up 4% today. Like that. Definitely, me personally, hit a nice leverage long last night. Good to see Bitcoin going up. ETH coming up at 44.96. Like to see that thing pushing over 45 by the time we're done here. Let's see what else we got. Binance Coin coming at number 3, a little under 3% on the day. Cardano, Solana, XRP. Let's look at our winners. We always like to see the winners. Loopring, the Sandbox. Again, we're seeing metaverse stuff really crank with this news on Meta from the company formerly known as Facebook. Arweave, Engine Coin. I know we got a lot of folks that love the old Engine Coin. Let's look at some losers. Sushi Swap, Ravane. Well, you know, whatever. Losers. I want to talk about losers. All right. Let's get into the show. Before we do that, make sure that you like this video, as we said before. If I can pop over to here, let's look at some stats. We've got, BJ, what, like 1,700 viewers, 280 likes? We're going to need to get that up. We're going to need to
smash them.
We'll just pause the stream. If you guys don't like it, we'll just stop. And, you know, we'll try again. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that. So just get in here, like it, watch it, tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your grandparents, because this is crypto and Around the Blockchain. All right, Solana flipping Cardano. Now, Solana looks like it is primed for a breakout. Meanwhile, Cardano appears to be bound for a steep correction. I don't know what that means. It's already under $2. So hopefully it doesn't go too much lower unless you're trying to scoop up a nice big bag. Solana could overtake Cardano by market cap if certain scenarios play out. We'll find out what this group of people has to say about that. Let's see. Keeper, let's start with you on this one, my man. Why is Solana so hot compared to AVAX or Cardano?
I'll tell you what. Really point blank for me, Solana is one of those chosen projects, right? It's got 350 applications running on the network. I looked this up right before we got on, and excuse me, essentially they're pushing onward and upward almost daily. They've got NFTs, smart contracts, obviously, and just overall bullish momentum, right? So Cardano, on the other hand, literally has just about zero pump since the smart contracts announcement, right? Now, it did happen in September, so let's give them some credit when everything was down. But this is crypto, right? And hype seems to run the show. So Solana's got the hype. Not to mention Cardano, when it pumps, it's always when everything else is just kind of chilling, kind of treading water, right? So everybody's bearish on it right now. So I'm sure that once things just get to an absolute crawl and everybody starts trying to bail, that's when it's going to absolutely pump, right? It's going to moon with the rest of the market. But long term, I do want to say, super bullish on both projects, right? I don't really care what placeholder one asset is versus the next. They're both going to do really well, and they're both winners in my book.
I like that. You know what? I totally agree with what you say, and this has probably happened to all of us up here. If you trade crypto, you've been in one of those projects that's gone stagnant, so you decide, all right, I'm going to hop into something else because I want it to move. I'm here to make some money.
Yep.
The moment you do that, the moment you sell, that one rips, and what you bought into dips. That's just the name of the game. That's why patience is a virtue here. We're talking about crypto. Now, Keeper, I want to ask you one little follow-up question on the whole thing that you said about Solana. It does have the hype train going for you. Do you think it's too centralized in nature? With I think the founders have a pretty large supply of the token. Is that correct?
You know what? I actually don't know what those numbers look like.
It's around 60%
so I can't really give
insiders.
You said it's about 60%?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, 60% is a large number for sure. Now, the problem usually when the numbers are large is that the project has the ability to rug. Solana is not going to rug, right? The fact that it's centralized, yeah, it goes against a lot of what crypto is supposed to be about, that we're standing for. But I don't think that we're in any danger due to that. So
absolutely, I agree with you. Eron, let me ask you a question, kind of piggybacking off of that. Solana not rugging. Now, because the founders own so much of the supply, there would be no incentive for them to rug, right? Because they want to see it succeed. If you control that much, what are your thoughts on it? And then, do you think Cardano has any flaws to it?
Well, from my understanding, the people that hold a ton of it have a lot of money. It's big money that's backing Solana. It's not people that need to rug pull. They already have the money, and they just want another project to give for the long haul. And you said flaws in Cardano. Flaws in Cardano, just that it's really no flaw in the code or anything. It's just kind of, I would say, I love Hoskinson, but he is not into marketing, and he's spending his time. He's doing important work in Africa right now, going around talking to all the heads of states and stuff. But yeah, Solana just has much better marketing than them, and it's only $500 million away. Solana is from Cardano, and it's definitely going to pass it because it's alt season. Well, it might not be real alt season, but we're here. People are getting impatient. People are having FOMO, and people are not going to sit around and stick in a stagnant project for very long in this environment.
Yeah. So, all right, let me pin you down here, Mr. Schmeeds, Mr. Shilbo Baggins. When do you see this flipping happening?
Next few days.
Whoa. You think they're going to make up that kind of ground in the next couple days, huh?
With the amount of new money flowing into crypto, yeah. Maybe not next few days. Let me say a week or two.
All right. We'll give you the point for the week or two. Nice job. Thank you for filling some of the air. I appreciate that. Making my job much easier. Jebb, talking about Solana, and like what Keeper said, they've got the hype train going. Can that be sustained? Can this something for now? You can also refresh us where you feel are on the cycle. Like, is it lengthening, or are you kind of in the same camp where we're getting close to the end of it? Is it going to burn out too quick, or do you think it's got some sustainability?
I think there's a lot more upside potential to come to Solana. You guys got to realize that Solana is just teasing all-time high right now. Its all-time high is sitting, or actually its local high and all-time high is right up here around like 215, somewhere around there. It's like triple tested that in the last week and a half, and it looks like it's going to break bullish out of that. In fact, let me just go ahead and share my screen here really quickly, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. If I show this, just recently, the exact opposite thing happened on Solana that happened on Cardano. Take a look here at Cardano versus Solana. What happened on Solana and Cardano were complete opposites. What Solana did is it entered this triangle pattern that was a bullish ascending triangle pattern. It's a continuation pattern. And Solana broke bullish out of that, and now it is trading sideways below resistance. That's actually the exact inverse of what just happened to Cardano, where we were trading down, moved into a consolidation pattern, broke bearish out of that, and now we're trading sideways above support. So it's literally the exact same market, but just flipped over. If I just switch between them, you can see it's the same market flipped on its head. What's going on right now is that Solana is taking a lot of that excitement and momentum that Cardano had, because Cardano's gotten boring over the last couple of weeks. And the fact of the matter is, Cardano and Solana both have massive promises that they have not fully delivered on yet. And that's not to say they're not going to. It just means that when you're investing in these products, they're still highly speculative. So you kind of see a lot of the valuation come in based on where public sentiment is. Right now, the public is more interested in Solana because there's more being talked about with it. As I think Eron just said, that the marketing on it is quite a bit better. Charles Hoskinson has always been a product, deliver value kind of guy, and that's what he's doing. He's running all over Africa right now, delivering value, making strategic partnerships that are going to drive, hopefully, Cardano in the right direction. But the thing I want people to walk away from this is, with kind of a lesson in how we should look at the markets. It's not so much about which one flips the other, because as Charles says, he doesn't care about the price, he cares about the product. What we need to think about is not what are we going to get really excited about doing really well in the next week or two, because I have learned from, I forgot who said this, but someone taught me that the difference between unsuccessful high achievers like A-type personalities like NFL superstars, NBA stars, extremely successful business owners, people that really grind and really become successful, it's not how much more pain can they take, it's how much more boredom can they take. It's how long can you stay in the exact same cycle over and over and over and over again, just get super bored, but keep doing what you need to do to succeed. And that's kind of what Cardano people are doing right now. They're having to hodl, even though Cardano isn't doing anything, and they're getting impatient, but it's the people that are patient that are going to be rewarded with that big pump when it comes, because Cardano likes to blast off when you least expect it. It loves moving contrary to the rest of this market.
Absolutely. I think, and you know, and I think, you know, like what we've heard a couple times so far in the panel is, you know, when you kind of feel like the sentiments start to change and people get bored and they start offloading, that's when we'll see the markets change and we'll see Cardano for Cardano rip. Before we get into our next topic, MacNCheeasy, I want to ask you a question about this this stuff. Now, thinking about Solana and kind of trying to keep it's being more competitive with Cardano, do you think that they did a good job with their, and I don't know if you paid attention to what was going on Twitter, and it was really over the summer, you know, it was like Solana summer, all the influencers were getting shorts, socks, gear, merch, all that. They really did a good job of getting their brand out there, getting people to wear that stuff and getting eyes on it. Do you think that's kind of what gave them the competitive edge and really boosting up their market cap so fast?
Yeah, frankly, Solana, FTX, they are all over the place. Yep. Literally all over the place. You watch tonight's game in the World Series, I think it's tonight, but you watch the World Series and you'll see the umpires wearing FTX. You'll see behind home plate FTX. And now what does FTX have to do with Solana? Well, FTX is a major player in Solana. There's I always get this name wrong, Ethereum, which is a non-custodial DEX, and this uses Solana, and this is an FTX product. So FTX and Solana, they basically go hand in hand. So when you're looking around all the different marketing that's going on, Solana, FTX, they have just been knocked it out of the ballpark. American Airlines Arena in Miami is now FTX Arena. They're giving people away NFTs for people that show up to Miami Heat basketball games. The NFT market in Solana has been exploding. It's died down of late, and this is something that we cover on my channel, The Incubator, but basically they have killed and dominated the NFT space. They got people interested, which then gets new investors to come in. That's not to say that Cardano hasn't necessarily done that, but they've been a little bit lagging, and I think Jebb had touched on it, right? How are you willing to be bored, or how much can you handle this boredom? And if you rewind to about this time last year, or even to the summer of last year, Bitcoin, Ethereum, crypto as a whole was kind of moving sideways, and the stock market was skyrocketing. And if I was holding on to primarily crypto, and I'm like, why am I in these positions when I could just buy traditional equity and the price will move? But the boredom and the patience paid off. So if you do believe in Cardano, if you do believe in the project, having conviction is what helps you through these times of sideways movements. And usually, if you are right, you will eventually get paid off in terms of this price movement. Because as you touched on it, Jay, the second you sell or you get out of the position, that is when it rockets. It's like it knows exactly. The crypto
law of
market
cryptocurrency.
it's the law of
The first law
cryptocurrency.
of
The
trading.
second
The first law of investment.
you change it, it's literally, it's like directly linked. So if anybody wants, Solana to moon or Cardano to moon, I'll just get out of the positions, and then we can call it a day.
Think about how spoiled we are, though. Think about how spoiled we are. We literally are sitting here talking about Cardano moving slowly. It is up 100x since I think the start of last year.
Exactly.
It was like 2 cents, and we're talking about, oh, we're getting bored. How much can you take? $2. Are you freaking kidding me? Ask somebody in the stock market the last time they had 100x return, and let me know how that conversation goes. So,
we say this kind of stuff all the time. I think that crypto has, I don't want to say ruined me, but I'm jaded on like a lot of things in life where I need the instant gratification of a lot of things, and I need that instant 10x. I couldn't be a stock boy. Like 2-3%. That doesn't excite me, not at all. I don't think anybody in this space it works for them anymore. And so, like you said, man, like it's 100x. It's huge. Not too many investments give you that kind of a return. All right, let's shift gears over to Ethereum Cme Futures. Make sure that you like the video. I still see less than 1,000 likes, which blows my mind.
Smash that like.
Come on, these guys. If you were listening to what they just said, it was amazing. Like the video. Give them some love. Show them some love. Show them BitSquad love. All right, and yes, I see a lot in the chat. Ben is not here because he's on his way to Houston to go see the Braves. Hopefully, clinch it.
Go Braves.
Go Braves. If you're from Houston, sorry. I moved from Texas mid-July. So anyway, all right, Ethereum Cme Futures. Now the CME group offering micro ETH futures on December 6th. It will be the scale of 1/10 the size of 1 ETH. Let's see. Eron, let's start with you. I'm going to go left to right on this one. Is this going to mean that? Yeah, good. Perfect. I'm glad that you love it. Is this going to mean ETH will have slower or faster price movements with an ETF?
I believe it'll have faster price movements, especially with this one when it's not just the big dogs that can come to play. Everybody can come to play. It's that's 1/10 the price.
Yeah, 1/10 of the price of an ETH. Yeah,
I think that is fantastic. I think that fractional ownership stuff like that is big and is one of the great benefits to cryptocurrency.
Now, do you think that us as content creators within this space? The mass adoption push, it's happening. I mean, you're seeing big time celebrities, especially with FTX and some of these other big companies get the advertising push going. Do you think that really pushing the narrative of you don't, and we say this all the time, but to keep it and maybe make it more of a focus is you don't have to buy a full Bitcoin. You don't have to buy a full Ethereum. You can buy small parts at a time and accumulate that into the full. Like, don't let that be your barrier to entry, right? What do you have to say to people that think like, oh gosh, I can't afford a full ETH?
Well, I sure am glad that I when I was first getting into crypto, I did buy a full ETH, but that was when ETH was $700. It crashed all the way down to 80, and then I dollar cost average. I put every free penny I had for the past 3 years into. I remember having $4,000 or $5,000 in credit card, looking at. I had the money to pay it off. Nope, I bought ETH. Am I glad I did that? You're dang right I am. So no, you don't have to have enough money to buy it. Just buy slowly, dollar cost average in. That's honestly the best way, depending on who you ask, to invest in any asset class.
Absolutely. It's a good way in and a good way out. Make sure as the bull run draws to an end, you DCA out. Don't just find a way to maximize your profits. All right, Jebb, coming to you on this next one. Do you think with this Ethereum future that it's going to clear the way for Ethereum to be considered an asset, or do you think it'll give the governments more control over Ethereum?
It's really hard to say because we're in uncharted territory here. We've seen ever since Bitcoin futures launched on CME back in December 16, 2017, something like that. We have seen a lot of shifts in the market, some good, some bad. And it seems like every single time something like this happens, whether it's CME futures on Bitcoin, whether it's backed, whether it's this Bitcoin ETF that we just saw launch a couple of weeks ago, it seems like we have mixed reactions. So it's actually really hard to pin down the trend because that's what I do. I'm a technical analyst. I try and look at the historical data to say, okay, this is what happened before, therefore what might happen in the future. And there's just not very clear data to give us any indication of what's going to happen. What I do think is going to happen, though, as far as fundamentals are concerned. I think news stories like this are going to help to bring about regulatory clarity that is much needed in this space. And it is also going to be an opportunity for the cryptocurrency market to have some regulatory framework set up. But basically what we're seeing happen in the last couple of years and what's going to happen in the next several years is that there is a land grab. And whether or not there's a power struggle land grab, you might say, where the government is trying to position itself so it has as much power over cryptocurrency for the future, and then the crypto market itself and the power players here in the crypto space are trying to position themselves so we have the most power, because the frameworks that are set up during this decade are going to be in place for 100 years. Current laws around things like securities are derived from court cases like 100 years ago. The decisions that are made today are going to affect, I guess the last 2 years have gotten to me, affect the our kids and our grandkids and how they actually work in the crypto space. I know, I love it. But I guess the point I'm making here is that number one, no, I don't know how this is going to affect crypto. But number two, I guess the point I'm making here is that we need to pay very close attention to it. And as citizens of the cryptocurrency space, we need to be very vigilant in how these things are being regulated, because we want to make sure that the regulatory framework that gets set up is being set up appropriately. And any power players that are running these billion-dollar companies need to take this very seriously, even though, making sure that regulatory framework is set up in the perfect way might not be the most important thing for the next year's, earnings report. But it's going to be very, very important for how the government regulates us moving into the future. And if we don't have a solid regulatory framework that does not overstep, then we're going to be running straight into the authoritarianism that we're trying to get away from in the first place through cryptocurrency.
All right. That was a great answer. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll give you.
Thank you. You're a great host.
One extra point for you.
I'm flattered.
Do what I can. MacNCheeasy. Could more institutional money in Ethereum limit the amount of meme coins on the Ethereum blockchain? That's an interesting question.
That's an interesting question, but I think by the fundamental nature of Ethereum, I don't think there's really anything that you can necessarily do to limit the meme coins on the actual Ethereum network. You can make your own cryptocurrency. You can make your own debate cryptocurrency. It takes a couple of lines of code, and the whole idea of Ethereum is that it's going to be a permissionless network that anybody can develop on, and anybody can create these products. Now, the question isn't necessarily on the Ethereum network whether or not meme coins can be created on it. The question is whether or not these centralized exchanges may or may not have more regulation in terms of what they will and will not allow people to purchase. And I think as more institutions come in, I don't think regulations for crypto, a lot of times people think that, regulations are bad. In fact, I think regulations, A, are necessary to make the next steps, but B, the proper regulations, and as Jebb was touching on it, the proper regulations, if they don't overstep, and if the government decides to put in the foundation for the next 100 years that sets it up so that the United States can really embrace crypto and can be a place that these companies, these developers, these products can thrive, then that is what we want. We want this regulation in place so that we can kind of get past that hurdle. That's the elephant in the crypto room 24/7. That's the thing that people are bringing up is like, what about regulation? What if they try and ban Bitcoin? What if they, which you can't do. Spoiler alert. But so that's the elephant in the room. But the second these get addressed, and the second that there is some writing on it, and there is some rules and regulation, and more institutions come in, these products and the top products, they're going to be elevated. So I'm of the believer that Bitcoin and hopefully Ethereum for my own bags, that as more and more institutions come into them, they're going to kind of separate themselves from the pack.
That to me is fantastic. I would echo exactly what you just said right there. All right, Keeper. Last question on this this topic coming to you. Why should retail even care about the CME group or an Ethereum future?
Well, I mean, this one's pretty simple. These are micro ETH contracts, right? Yep. So now let me first start off by saying we still want and need, just like with Bitcoin, we still want and need an Ether settled futures contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because these contracts are cash settled, okay? But as I understand it, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, I was looking into this before the stream, but my understanding is that these micro contracts are great for making ETH more, quote, affordable, right? At the end of the day, like, I think that you can't buy partial futures contracts. So a person that still wants to trade ETH futures but doesn't have like a ton of capital, they get priced out rather quickly. ETH's at like $4,500, right? And so this opens things up for a wider array of people to invest, which overall provides more volume in the markets. And then that lines things up for individual traders to be able to get involved, not just these huge institutional players. So as it relates to ETH as a whole, I think it is absolutely important. Can I touch on something real quick, Jay, that you asked MacNCheeasy?
Absolutely.
You asked about the meme coins, right? I always talk about ETH being my girlfriend. I am super bullish on ETH. She is fantastic.
Does your wife know about that?
Yes, she does. I actually, funny thing,
gotcha.
I was standing in the kitchen and I said to somebody today, I said, hey, we're talking about my girlfriend apparently this evening. And my wife like looks up from the phone and then she's like, what? She's like, oh, he was talking about ETH. Okay, got it. And
just curious.
The meme coins in a really weird backward way I'm not a fan, but they do something for the ETH world, right? And it actually makes this meme coin mania is super bullish for ETH, right? The more and more transactions happening on the ETH network makes it more and more deflationary of an asset. So all of these transactions in a really backwards way are good for ETH. The transaction burns that are happening, they are helping ETH to even further press forward and press on.
It's crazy to think about that.
You two look like twins.
I'm
sorry to interrupt. You and Keeper, you two were up next to each other. I'm just like, yeah, you two look. It looks like there's just.
Oh, dude,
you look like
literally
the same
both have on a backwards cap.
They got the hat.
Backwards cap.
Yeah, they got the hat,
hat
the beard.
completes it. You're both wearing headphones. You're both wearing like a hoodie. It's crazy.
We planned it, guys. We are crypto
Don't
brothers.
Tell them our
Neither of them are wearing pants.
Crypto twins.
Crypto twins. Yeah, that's the new show we'll be doing, coming to you soon. All right, so
I was trying to get extra points with my outfit, but apparently Jebb just gets extra points for just whatever.
Gotcha.
Oh my God! Hey,
gotcha.
Hey,
oh,
I'm the one that pointed it out. Come on.
Hey! All you got to do is ask.
Nepotism,
Can you get points? All you got to do is ask. Can you get points?
Can I have like 10 points?
No, you can get one. You can tie.
Can I have 2?
There you go.
Okay,
Nope.
I'll tie. Okay, cool. I'll take it.
All right, but you get a chance. You get a chance to get some more points here. I want to ask everybody this question. Kind of just staying with this meme coin thing really quickly with futures. Do you ever see their futures being on any of these meme coins? And if so, which one do you think it is? Aaron, let's start with you.
I hope not, but if it's going to be on Shibber or Doggy Coin. I refuse to say its name. But I also do want to respond to Keeper about he was saying that it's good for the meme coins. They are good. It's making more deflationary. However, it's a double-edged sword because there was a lot of people around me, and I'm hearing a lot of talk about people jumping off the ETH train just because the gas fees are being driven up so high. But yeah, so there's too many people in the tunnel, and we're all trying to get through. Only people with enough money. There's people in this office who refuse to use ETH at all, but just because they're priced out. Just by the gas fees, they're priced out. It's ridiculous.
Well, for me to pay for our fantasy football league, it was like a $20 entrance fee. It was a $30 fee to send $20. To me, that's just not doing it. Like it's $50. It's not that big of a deal, but it's a principle. Just not happening. All right, Jebb. What about you? Futures on a meme coin? If so, which one?
No, and I'll give you the boring, realistic reason that I'll be the one guy to do that, because I'm sure there's a lot of funny answers to this that the others are going to say. The reason why that's not going to happen is because, number one, if the SEC does its job, it shouldn't happen. There you go. Happy?
Oh, I am so impressed that you actually made it under that timer. I thought that was going to go on for a minute or two. Congratulations. MacNCheeasy.
I deserve a point for that. Come on.
All right. We'll give it to you.
There we go.
There you go. MacNCheeasy. Futures on meme coins. Which one?
It's hard to say, right? Because we are so, like, if Sheeb does progress and become somewhat of a platform, like, sure, it might have originated as a meme coin and it might still have that meme nomenclature and kind of that meme idea around it, but who knows what can happen 10, 15 years from now. There's really no concrete reason why SHIB couldn't become the next Ethereum. Like obviously there's reasons why it can't, but like 15 years from now, who knows?
I like it. You never know. You just never know what could happen 15 years from now.
So answer by not answering.
There you go. I'll take it. I'll take it. Keeper, what about you?
It will be a sad, sad day, and my head will hurt if this does happen. But let's be real, and I'll keep it brief. Money is basically what people value derives on what two people agree on, right? And if we get to a point to where these meme coins truly have that value, and these investors see opportunity to make money in a futures type environment, they will do it. At the end of the day, they do not care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about anything except for that bottom line. And if that bottom line can pump their bag, so to speak, they're going to do it. So I hate the idea of it, but I could see it, I guess.
Yeah, that is the power of the internet getting together and pushing something forward for sure. All right, let's. We got a few more minutes, so we can hop onto this last topic. It'll probably be a brief one, but I think before we do, let me just check. 1,500 likes, about 6,000 viewers. That should have been higher.
Smash them up, guys.
I can't ask you anymore. I mean, these guys up here working hard on a Tuesday night for you. Just give them a like.
That's right.
Not for me. Not for me. For them. All right. Last topic of the day is Metamask custodial or non-custodial. Now, BJ, if you pull up my screen, please. There was a tweet from Leah Kewen. She is a tech crunch writer. Shout out to you, Leah. She posed this question online. Do you consider Metamask a custodial or non-custodial wallet? Now, 75% of people said that it was non-custodial. But if you look down below, this whole thing kind of spiked a big discussion from this tweet that came out from Moxie Marlinspike about an NFT that got pulled off of OpenSea without warning. So go ahead and search for this, and you can read the whole thread. We don't need to go through it. But MacNCheeasy, are NFTs flawed if they can be removed at will by the creator or the platform service?
So with the NFTs itself, the connection, as my understanding of that thread was that merely it was the visualization of the NFT itself, the association of the NFT to your wallet remained unchanged. And are they flawed if a central or an entity like OpenSea can kind of remove it? I don't necessarily think that's the case. I mean, there will be decentralized NFT platforms. SushiSwap is making one right now. There will be solutions for this. NFTs, sometimes some NFT projects, they actually hold the images on non-decentralized storage mechanisms. So I think there is some flaws with that if the actual JPEG isn't stored. But from the actual question here, right, the MetaMask, is it custodial or non-custodial? By definition, it is non-custodial, not your keys, not your coin, and you have the actual ownership of the coin. So it is a non-custodial wallet, and I think that led to the 75% of the people that answered like that. But the question is what APIs they're using, if those are centralized APIs, if they're decentralized APIs, if it truly is a platform that is permissionless. And yeah, I think end of the day, it is a non-custodial service.
Yes. Okay. I would agree with you there. But that brings up my next question. Eron, I'll bring it up to you. You've got some points to make up here, so let's see what you got to say here. Is there any crypto wallet that you could consider to be truly non-custodial, though?
Hardware wallets. Some would argue they're not, though, because they're provided and they have the keys made on some of them. But I would respond that to me, how I read that story was there was a person who connected their wallet to OpenSea, didn't read the terms of service, and when they didn't like the terms of service on how it was connected to their wallet and they revoked something, they didn't like that. So I think that is really MetaMask is non-custodial, but that when you agree to terms of service, you kind of negate that. So it was, as I understood it, the image is stored actually on a URL, not on chain, because it would be too expensive to do that. And that they can change just the image. So they still have the NFT, but when they went to look at it, the image was not showing up.
Yeah, and I read something about something showed up as a poop emoji. I don't know if that was true or if I misread it.
Nice.
Something in that tweet, something about that. Anyway, I got another question in here from our writer of the show. Let's see, Keeper. I will bring it to you, and then MacNCheeasy, I'll follow up with some other question that we get out of Keeper's answer. What can fix NFTs? Is it broken?
What can fix NFTs? Okay, so first of all, I don't think that NFTs are, quote, broken. Okay, I think actually some of the actual code behind how NFTs operate are incredibly intelligent, right? So NFTs are actually stored on and again, I'm not the expert here, but they're stored on IPFS, which is like interplanetary file system, which essentially stores the data not just in a standard URL that could just, up and disappear. That would be flawed. So these use like a network of different hosts that are all over the place to actually store the file. So unless you've got something going on where, you have some real world like IP, like intellectual property infringement, I don't see how an NFT would just, quote, disappear. I can see what you're saying where the actual image itself all of a sudden isn't there, but if it is stored in IPFS the way that it should be, there is no reason why it should disappear. And I don't think that they're broken. And maybe I just have a flawed understanding of the NFT market, but I don't see them being broken.
Okay, perfect. I don't either. To be perfectly honest with you and fully transparent, I don't actually know a whole lot about the whole NFT market as it is. I know that there's several out there that I really enjoy. There's some fun rock pictures.
You've got a great show on morning though.
Oh, yes. I need to start watching the NFT update. It's but now it's like one of those times, where I like to spend time with my daughter on Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll watch it together and she'll learn about NFTs. She's still a little young, but all right, MacNCheeasy.
2 weeks.
Yeah. She's already got some Bitcoin. She's already got some altcoins.
There you go.
She'll be all right.
Young investor.
Yes, a young one. All right, MacNCheeasy. Last question of the day is going to come to you. Now, when Keeper said IPFS, I think that's what he said, you shook your head like you knew exactly what he was talking about. So I'm going to lean on you now to sum up this whole conversation at the end here about the MetaMask, about the NFTs, custodial, non-custodial, what you think, just an overall 30-foot view. What do you think about that whole situation, about that tweet?
Yeah, so to summarize, right, when you're creating a NFT and the image, it's a lot of the times the file itself is too complex. It's too much data to store on chain. And as a result, you have to find a way to actually store the image. Now, traditionally, let's say you were creating a normal web application, you would store the URL to the image, or you'd store it in a centralized entity like AWS. Now, what IPFS provides is a decentralized storage system so that you're not relying on a single entity to store the actual file. There's different ways you can actually handle this. And in fact, there are some entirely on-chain NFTs that don't use anything besides the Ethereum network. You can look at the trend of loot NFTs, on-chain monkeys, where they store the image itself is less complex, and as a result, you can store it on the Ethereum network. So there's different ways that you can do this, but at the end of the day, it comes down to the developer making decisions. And these decisions, sometimes they cut corners, sometimes they decide to do it one way instead of the other. And there are NFTs that leverage non-decentralized services for storing the actual image. And that is a no-no. And you probably don't want that if in the true nature of the crypto ethos. So NFTs as a whole, you have to develop them and you have to build them. And these are decisions that you have to make as a creator, and understanding the trade-offs of certain applications. It's the same as developing a web application where you have to choose your technology stack and how you're going to do it. There's different trade-offs. And as a software engineer, these are things that you have to think through for the actual product.
Very good. I like that you were very technical with that answer. I knew when you shook your head with the IFPS, I knew you knew what you were going to be talking about. And so thank you for leaving us with some great information that also helped you seal the win for today. Just edging you over. Keeper, sorry, buddy. I wanted
No,
you to
hey,
win it.
he did a great job. I know he knows his code. Fantastic. MacNCheeasy, you guys should be following him anyways if you're not already. So
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, MacNCheeasy, let's hear what you got to leave us with today.
So first off, everybody go to the links, follow everybody, subscribe to their channels, smash the like button for this. Thank you for the opportunity here. But as we go through the crypto space, it's important to zoom out and remember what's going on and where we've came to where we're going. So although it might be treading lightly and although you might have high highs and low lows, zoom out and think about the big picture, about where we're going and what you truly have conviction on. And that'll help you not get too high on these peaks and not get too low on the drops. And I think that's super important for having a sustainable and successful crypto career as an investor and whatever you do in the crypto space. Happy Tuesday.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, this was a great show. Learned a lot from all of you. Had a great time chatting with you. Again, pop down in the description. Follow every one of these guys. Like everything they got. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. I believe DZ is coming back tomorrow. We'll figure it out tomorrow morning. But him and Justin Williams were in New York City for NFT NYC, I believe. But they are coming back tonight, so he'll be back tomorrow for Around the Blockchain. Until then, have a good night. We will see you tomorrow.